Hey guys, Tim here from the Single Malt Review with another Antiques Roadshow. And this time we are going all the way back to the 1960s. My goodness! And we're going to do it with this rather antique bottle of Johnnie Walker Black Label, the one and the only. Although this bottle has a few surprises, and the keen-eyed amongst you may have already realised that something is amiss here, something is awry. A rather ubiquitous detailed Black Label is missing. But we'll get into that as we go. I'll show you the packaging a wee bit more. We've got pretty much the same thing. Doesn't matter which side you look, it's always same nonsense there. And in case you were confused, Black Label, once again, on the top. It is a 1 litre package, which leads me to believe it's probably duty-free, but it doesn't say that explicitly, so I'm not quite sure about that. All the others that I've seen in the 1 litre have been duty-free, however. So, inside, I'll show you how it's put together. There's some sort of fairly robust cardboard in here. It has survived the years well. And inside, oops, there it is. Pretty recognisable. The packaging, the branding, it's barely changed over the years. Goodness me. Now, have you realised what's missing? You'll kick yourself if you haven't. I'll give you 2 more seconds. No? It's the age statement. There's no numbers on this bottle. This is not Johnnie Walker Black Label 12 years old. This is Johnnie Walker Black Label Zip. And that is a big giveaway to its age. See, after World War II, there was restrictions on distilling. That's right, they bombed us all the way back to the no-age statement, the bastards. Now, what I really want to know here, and what I'm going to find out, is what this tastes like. That's the real treasure here, is not collecting old bottles. Goodness knows, there's enough people around there on the internet doing that. I'm about tasting some goddamned whiskey, and that's what I'm going to do here. Is this going to be still good? After decades and decades and decades, this bottle that is staggeringly older than myself, than many people still alive today. I think so. Whiskey typically lasts, as long as it's, of proof. This one's 40%, as you'd expect. Or, well, is it? It could be anything. It doesn't say naught on the bottle, but I'm fairly confident it's going to be 40%. That hasn't tended to fluctuate over the years. And aside from that, what can go wrong with these bottles? The glass, that's good. The glass is pretty immutable. What can go a bit funny are these metallic caps, because they contain a plastic, sort of a seal, composite plastic seal in there, and that can go a wee bit ropey as the years go on. And something's gone, maybe not ropey, but something's definitely happened here, because we're seeing some flaky something in here. I'm not too worried. I think we're going to have a perfectly good bottle of whiskey here. And so there's probably nothing else to do but find the hell out. So join me in listening to a noise that has been waiting a very, very long time to be heard. Oh! Secure. Alright, let's have a look at that cap. Pretty good. I don't think we've got any problems here. I don't think we've got any problems at all. Alright, all that remains is for me to get Dave up in here, and we're going to taste this baby. Join us for that one. Alright, here we go, Dave. And Mingus couldn't wait either. He needs to get in on this one. It is time to taste it. It is time to see whether it is still good.
I've been looking forward to this one. We've tried older bottlings before, not of Johnnie Walker, but of similar goodies.
We certainly have, but nothing quite this old. No whiskey this old, for certain. So this is going to be a hell of an experience. So let's just see about this one. I've already shown you the close-ups here, and I've given this one a pre-taste and let some air in, so I know there's no disasters coming, but we're going to find out anyway. I'd say, it's a lovely colour, but I'll bet even back then they were colouring their whiskey, possibly even more than today.
That is
you can say that's dark. Stunningly dark. There, quite stunningly dark.
It looks good though, and smells good already.
Yeah, it's a pungent old whiskey. Those being asleep for all those years haven't left it with too much lethargy. So Aroma-wise, there's nothing wrong with this whiskey. This whiskey isn't even remotely busted. This was just, wake me up, tell me what time it is. We are ready to go.
There's sweet caramel nuts.
There sure is. And we're going to do a comparison with modern Walker 12, which I think will be the really revealing one. This is just a bit of a pre-taste to see what we've got here. And what we've got is there's a lot of coal smoke in here. There's a minerality to this one, which I think makes it a little bit different to the whiskey of today. And I think that's pretty telling as to when it was made. Back when this was, the components of this was distilled, it was a very different Scotland, a very different Speyside, and there was a way more individual malting still going on, and a lot of them were using their own peat, and in a lot of cases more coal-fired stuff as well. So that sort of more anthracitic mineral note, that's exactly what you'd expect to find an older whiskey like this.
So despite this one coming in from that unusual period when the age statement was not on the label temporarily, was it still roughly a 10 or 12-year-old?
Well, that's sort of information that may be lost to time. There may be some dusty paperwork locked up somewhere, but information on the actual composition of the blend going back that far is scant to say the least. In fact, we can look over the bottle here and we will see just a stunning paucity of information. I suppose back then regulations were not what they are today. You could pretty much, as long as you had the basics, we've got contents 1 litre, and that's about the only metric thing on here. There is no proof. We're going to assume this is 40% or, close to it. The measurement probably wasn't as accurate as it was today. We have John Walker and Sons, distillers Kilmarnock, Scotland, appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, yada yada yada. And then I quite like this one on the back. This one is, what is it? It is distilled and bottled under British government supervision. So, it's all good, it's all safe. There's no Jacobites hiding in the bottle waiting to jump out once you open it.
Yeah, I guess in comparison to the bourbon, which most of it is bottled in bond, government bonded warehouses, but not a practice we usually see on.
No, not so much. I think that's just there to reassure the British public that it's all right, it's all clean, It's not too Scottish.
Shenanigans, malarkey, or hijinks.
All right, on the tongue.
Oh, I like that. That is a very sooty peat.
It is.
That nice prickle to it.
It's back. That coaly stuff, back. And the prickle is real. I think that we may be tasting the lack of an age statement here. I think I properly introed the lack of an age statement and the reasons behind that in my close-up, but just in case I skipped over that more than I should have, it was everything post-World War II, since about 1940 onwards, the age statement went away on Johnnie Walker Black Label. Previous to that, it was a 12-year-old whiskey since a stunningly long time ago, back when, to see an age of any kind on a whiskey was pretty weird, and to see an age statement on a 12 going all the way back to sort of the 1900s, that was just absolutely peculiar. So it was always kind of a weird whiskey to be out there, but yeah, Steady, bombed their ass back to no age statement on after the World War II, which was less a case of damaged distilleries, though a couple of them were hit. It was more a case of the British government wanting to ensure that grain went into people, not into whiskey. There was probably pretty founded fears about food shortages, and so it wasn't until the late 70s that the age statement came back. So 12-year-old has almost, at least in modern times, been without an age statement for as long as it's been with one. Astonishing stuff, but yeah, I don't think it does it any harm, but what it may do is a bit more of that youthful punch going on in there, because there's a prickle, yeah.
That's a pretty compelling mix of flavours. There's the salt and coal smoke on the tongue for a savoury end of the spectrum, but then it turns into quite a desserty whiskey. I'm getting peanut brittle and milk chocolate and pecan pie.
Yeah.
That's some favourite flavours in there.
I think and we'll do the proper tasting, but I think it's both a little punchier, but a little deeper and richer than current Black Label. But I'll keep my powder dry on that one. We're wasting good content there. This was as I said, just the initial wee look here, but I think it's a really, really promising start. So we're going to get the second set of glassware out here, and one of the rare but always exciting comparison tasting. So stick around for that one. It will be hopefully uploaded at the same time if I'm onto it. If not, oops. Anyway, Slanjo, stick around.